I am Paul Kustyukov. Some of you guys know me.
Yep.
There. I am from, now buddy. I am from Ukrainian church, pretty close to here, about 5 minutes away. I was pretty glad for this opportunity to come and preach to you guys. A little background information about me. I was born in Ukraine. That is a country, not a state. It's in Europe, right next to Russia. I was born in 1990, right about at the end of a communist regime. Ukraine is becoming free. I was born during the Reconstruction age. At 8 years old, my family decided to go to the United States, so I moved here and I went to Ridley. Anyone from Ridley here? Perfect choice. Ridley's a really good choice to go. I graduated in 08. Then I went on to community college for 3 years, juggling majors like crazy. I went from accounting to business, communication, to education, to everything. And now I'm transferring to CBU, that's like a biblical university. And going for youth ministry or pastoral, I'm not sure. Okay. That's a little background about me. Today I'll talk about fear. It's kind of interesting because I have a fear of public speaking. So we will see how that turns out.
That's all right. I've got a fear of public listening.
Before we open our Bibles, I'd like to ask you guys a question. What do you think about when you hear the word fear? Like, what thoughts do you have? What feelings go through you when you hear the word fear? Is it, you can answer. Panic. Anyone else? Guys in the back? Sarah? Hold us back. Yeah, I think every one of us has a different answer to that question. But we all have one similarity in that we all have fear. No matter how old we are, what age we are, what gender, what ethnicity, we all have fear. Remember, when we're children, we're afraid. We have fear of darkness, fear of monsters in our closets, monsters under our beds. And children also have fear of being alone. That's why when a parent puts a baby down just to go get something, many times the baby will cry because the baby thinks it's alone and it's afraid. So one of the worst things a parent could do is just leave a baby in the corner and just drive away. And you have no idea what kind of fear you put in the baby. When children grow up, become adolescents, become teenagers like me. They're all strong and manly, all tough. Still have fear. Now the fear is different. Now we have fear of rejection. Fear of not fitting in, fear of not being cool, fear of not being accepted for who we are. And also we have fear of failure, fear to fail that test, which might result in failing that class, which could result in failing that grade, which could result in not getting the scholarship I want, not getting to the college I want, which could result in not getting the job I want. All pile up, and it's a huge pile of fear. Even when we are adults, when we are went through this life, we have so much experience, we still have fear. Now the fear is, we have something, we want to lose it. We have the fear of loss. Like we have a job, we want to lose it. You're afraid to lose your job. You're afraid to lose your money. You're afraid to lose your friends. You're afraid to lose someone close to you. You're afraid to lose your health, which results in losing your life. No matter what age we are, we all have fear. We go home, we turn on the news. All we see on the news is fear. We go to local news, we see someone got stabbed, someone got killed, someone got ran over, someone got robbed, someone got raped. All we see that brings us fear. Like, okay, let's switch the channel. We go to world news. We see wars, bombs, terrorist attacks, nuclear bombs, North Korea, Iraq. We see all this. Also gives us fear. But okay, forget about that. Go to the Weather Channel. Let's see on the Weather Channel. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, thunder strikes, everything. And we are all around this kind of fear. Many times this fear deprives us of living a normal life. This fear deprives us of this comfort that we should have in life. And this subject hits close to my heart Because I had a friend who struggled with fear. Never told me this, but he struggled with it. And I really never helped him. I was close to him in middle school, then high school came and we weren't that close anymore. And then after high school, we didn't talk at all. And I heard last year he committed suicide. Yep. And he committed suicide, and he wrote a suicide note, which was only a sentence long. And I will remember that for the rest of my life. He wrote on the suicide note that I am afraid in this world, and I can't take it. Fear. It's a small word, but has such huge and tragic results. The question is, how can we live in this world full of sin, world full of fear? How can we live in it without anything? Let's turn to our Bibles and find an answer to the question. The first passage I want to read is in Matthew, chapter 14, verse 22 to verse 30. Matthew 14, verse 22 to 40, to 30. I'm going to read from the ESV translation. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up into the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But by this time, the boat was a long way from land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against him. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them, walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It's a ghost," and cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." And Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you in the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of his boat and walked in the water and came to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me."